Hey, this video is for Miss Lamb's reading class, and this is for the Find the Evidence packet. So with this packet, I'm just going to go over how to do the first one, and then you guys can do the rest of them independently or with your parent or with me on Skype. But I'm just going to go over how to do it, okay? So the first story is called First Day of School, and these are the instructions. It says, can you find the proof for your answers? Use a crayon in the colors shown to underline where you found each answer in the text. So instead of writing the answers, you're simply going to learn how to go back into the text and identify where the answer is, okay? And this is going to help you when you start getting into higher grades, because they're always going to ask you a question and then how do you know that? And the best way to know something is to be able to point at your text and say, because I read it over here, okay? So the colors that you're going to need is blue, yellow, red, purple, green, and orange. You can also use highlighters or markers or colored pencils. It doesn't have to be crayons, but this is what mostly everyone has. And if you don't, improvise with your colors and just cross it out if you don't have a certain color, okay? So I'm going to read the story, and I'm going to kind of reveal some of the answers so you guys can kind of see how I want you to do this, okay? So this is the first story, first day of school. Jerry was so nervous. He was shaking a little. Today was the first day of school, and normally Jerry loved getting to see his friends again. Today was different, though. Jerry had moved in July, and he didn't know anyone yet at his new school. As Jerry stood at the bus stop on the corner, he wondered about his new school. Would the teacher be nice? Would his principal be scary? Would he still get to go to PE, music, and art like at his old school? Most importantly, would he have any friends? Just then, Jerry spotted the big yellow bus rounding the corner. The bus slowed to a stop, its brakes squeaking loudly, and the bus driver leaned out to open the door with a big smile. "Jerry Roberts?" she called. Jerry nodded, gulped, and took a step onto the bus. As Jerry walked slowly down the center aisle, he saw a sea of unfamiliar faces staring back at him. Finally, a boy smiled. "Hey, sit here," he said, scooting over to offer a seat. With a sigh of relief, Jerry sat down and smiled. "Hi, I'm Kevin. Nice to meet you." Thank goodness Jerry had made a friend. Okay, so it's a short article, and this lesson is really more about going back into your text and getting the information that you need. Most of the time we can remember it, but right now we're talking about proof. How can you go back and find it for sure? So the first question, which is going to be the blue question, so I'm going to get my blue crayon here, and I have the fancy twistable ones. I always wanted these when I was a kid, and my mom said they were too expensive. So when I became a grown-up, I said, I'm getting them. And here they are. So the first question says, who is Jerry's new friend? So you're going to go back into your text and you're going to go, who is Jerry's new friend? And I'm going to show you how I do it. So I go, and I know that his new friend is Kevin. So I'm going to go and I'm going to underline the name Kevin. Just like that. And I just underlined it. So you can underline the direct answer or the whole sentence context if you'd like. But for this one, I think it's just okay to just get Kevin. And if you want, you can even write Kevin by the answer, okay? That's up to you. So I've answered my first question. The second question is yellow, so I'm going to get my yellow, and it says, what was Jerry most worried about? And I know that he was most worried about making any friends. So I'm going to find that in the text. And sometimes it may be in more than one spot. So that means that you go back and you might have two spots underlined in yellow, and that is okay. So I found one. Let's see. Just making sure. Yep, I think it's only in one spot. So I underlined, would he have any friends? Where it says, would the teacher be nice? Would his principal be scary? Would he still get to go to PE, music, art, like at his old school? Most importantly, would he have any friends? That's what he was most worried about. So I highlighted that sentence, okay? So far I have my answer for blue and my answer for yellow. My next one is red. And my question is, where was Jerry's bus stop? So I'm going to go to the paragraph about the bus stop. Let's see. Big bus rounding the corner. Okay. And this one is in two separate spots where I found proof of where it is. Okay. So it says in the second paragraph, the beginning of the second paragraph, it says, as Jerry stood at the bus stop on the corner. So I highlighted that. And then again, they mentioned it again in one of the other paragraphs where it said, the big yellow bus rounding the corner. So it's in two separate spots indicating the location, okay? So I finished that one. Now I'm gonna grab my purple and I'll answer my purple question. And it says, why was the first day of school different? So I know that has to be in the first paragraph. So I'm gonna go to my first paragraph and I'm gonna highlight this whole 2 sentences here because that's what it takes to answer it. And it says, today was different though. Jerry had moved in July and he didn't know anyone at his new school. So we're seeing our article and it's starting to fill up with a lot of colors. This is what we want. Remember, don't highlight any information that you don't need, but you want to make sure that you highlight enough information. So for this one, I had to highlight 2 sentences because that's what it took. For the first one, I just had to highlight a name because that's all I needed. So I finished my purple question. Now it's on to my green question. And it says, how did Jerry feel about the first day of school? That one's so easy. Let's see, was there anywhere else? So the bus took nope. So far, I found it in the very first sentence. It says, Jerry was nervous. And if there's anywhere else in the text where it shows how he felt, I would highlight that or underline that in green. But I didn't see anywhere else where it mentioned it. And my last one, orange. When did Jerry move to his new house? See, it is different. So this one will be interesting. And I'll show you how to do this. I'm highlighting something that I highlighted previous because it answers my question. So if we see that purple section, I also underline a particular part. Jerry had moved in July. So that portion goes to my purple answer, but it also fits this one, so I just double underlined it because it fits both questions. So I want to make sure that all my information is correct. So guys, this took me less than 5-10 minutes to do. It's not very hard, and I don't want anyone to think just because it's so easy that you can rush through it. Make sure that you're underlining the correct information. Don't underline anything that you don't need, okay? But underline everything that you think you might, okay? Sometimes it's better to underline a little bit more than not underline enough, okay? So remember, get your colors. You can use pencils, markers. It doesn't particularly matter as long as you correlate the colors. If you don't have a particular color, like let's say that you don't have blue, but you have magenta, you cross out the blue and you write the color that you are using. Okay, guys? Make sure that you write your name at the top. And the next couple, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 other stories. And I've done your first one with you, so this one shouldn't be too bad. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.